Hey y'all, real quick before the video, Mother's Day is coming up this weekend, so I wanted to give a heartfelt shout out to all the mothers and mother figures out there. Your job is so important and we thank you. Hope you have a happy Mother's Day. All right, on to the video. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Arts and Crafts series here at Excite All Stars. I'm Coach Idris, and this is lesson 4, Self-Love Letter. As some of you may know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. One major facet of good mental health is self-love, or loving yourself. What does that look like? Well, for an example, self-love can be treating yourself to your favorite snack if you're having a bad day. It can be dressing up and making yourself feel beautiful. It can even be choosing not to attend that social event, back when we used to go to social events, if you're just not feeling like being around people and would rather be alone. It most definitely is acknowledging all the best qualities about yourself and your life and reminding yourself of them when you're feeling down. That's what we're going to be working towards today by creating our very own old-timey love letter to ourselves. Let's get started. All right, so these are the things you're gonna need for this project. You're gonna need a piece of paper, hopefully something that is kind of sturdy. I like to use sketchbook paper. I tried doing this with regular printer paper and it did not really work out so well, so nice sturdy sketchbook paper. You're gonna need something to write with, of course, for your letter. You're gonna need a lighter, a candle, sealing wax. This is letter sealing wax. You can get it from Michael's or Amazon. I got mine from Papier Plume, which is this place downtown New Orleans. It's amazing. You're also gonna need a little wax stamp. I'm using one with double hearts on it because we love ourselves. You're gonna need a few layers of paper towels. You're also gonna need a cup of coffee. Disgusting. I don't like coffee, but this coffee is going to assist us with our project today. Keep in mind, make sure your coffee is cool. Do not use hot coffee because we're going to be dipping our hands into the coffee. You do not want to burn yourself, so make sure when the coffee is made, let it cool down, maybe put it in the refrigerator, but this is not hot, so warning. And the last thing you're gonna need for this project is time. Allow me to explain. The first thing you're gonna do is take your piece of paper, crumple it up. You want it to just be nice and small with as many wrinklies as you can make it. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is just a crumpled piece of paper. We're gonna take our cup of coffee and we're gonna dip this paper into the coffee. Gross. Oh yeah, leave it in there for a few seconds. And then, the reason I have so many paper towels is because it's gonna get a little messy. Let the excess coffee kind of drip into the cup. And then carefully unravel the paper. Ooh. All right, so what this is doing is we're staining the paper this nice brown color, and we also gave it a bunch of crinkles to make it look kind of old. So you just want to set your piece of paper on your napkins and let it dry for a couple of hours. I set mine down outside. If you do that, you'll want to weight it down with something because my papers blew away in the wind when I tried it the first time. So let them dry for a while. And once they are dry, we're going to take our paper and our lighter, and what we're going to do is burn the edges to give them a nice burned scroll look. I will show you. Come with me outside as we go burn the sides of our paper now. Okay, I'm not exactly outside because the wind is going to make this really, really difficult. I'm right by my front door so that any smoke and stuff goes outward. Make sure you have a parent or an adult with you when you're doing this, because what we're going to be doing here is burning the edges just to give it a nice burned effect look. But you want to make sure that an adult is present because we are working with fire and it can get a little bit dangerous, but it's going to be very simple. So we're just going to start burning like this and then blow it out. Easy, easy peasy. We're just going to burn the edge and then blow it out. Really quick, very easy, so it's not super dangerous. We're not going to spend a lot of time with the fire. Keep in mind that the ash is going to get everywhere. That's a big reason I wanted to do this outside. But yeah, so we're getting this nice burned look, and I'm going to do it on both sides to get that nice look. Strange, my page is getting these weird teeth shapes, which is super strange. So we're burning this one, blow it out, very careful, blow it out. There you go. Burned edges on our paper. Lovely. Okay, so now we've got our paper looking quite nice. It's got a nice brown color to it and it's got burned edges. So I'm loving this so far. The next step, of course, is to write your self-love letter. So of course, address the letter to yourself. And what I want you to put in this letter is sit down and just think about the best qualities of yourself. Think about things about yourself and your personality that you like and enjoy. It could be, the fact that you treat your friends and family really well. It could be the fact that you're really good at cooking. It could be the fact that you dress really well or you have really nice hair. It could be that you're really creative. Who knows? Think about all the qualities of yourself that you really like and enjoy and put that in this letter. Remind yourself of those things. Also, think about aspects of your life that are good and positive. So, did you see a butterfly the other day? Did that make you happy? Write that down. Did you eat something really delicious recently? Write that down. Did you see somebody do something really nice for someone else? Write that down. Think about all kinds of positive things about yourself and your life and write those things in your letter so that they can be a lovely little reminder of the good in this life. It's not always sunshine and rainbows, but in the darkest times, it helps be reminded of, the good stuff. So take your time with this, okay? I want you to really think about it. And then we will go to the next step. All right, so I meant to mention earlier that you're gonna wanna have at least 2 pages for your letter. Now, if your letter is longer than 1 page, that's fine. In that case, you wanna have 3 pages. Basically, you wanna have 1 extra page more than however long your letter is. And there's a reason for that. So I've got 2 pages here. And once your letter is actually written, this is when your sealing wax, your stamp, and your candle come into play, okay? So I'm going to light the candle. That is our flame that we have here now, which is going to be used to soften the sealing wax and get it to turn into a liquid form. So what we're going to do here is we're going to roll this. You may want to first flatten it because it's full of these crinkles and stuff, so it might be hard to roll that way. So just flatten it out and then roll it up. You don't want to make the roll too tight, and I'll show you why. Nice, look at that, looks like an old scroll. Ooh. So the reason you don't want to roll it up too tightly is because you want this part with the flap to be kind of wide. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna heat up the wax and we're gonna dribble it on to this flap, and it needs space. So you don't want it to be too thin. So you want this kind of wide. I'm also kind of pressing it down a little bit to give it that flattened surface. I'm not pressing it down too hard. I don't want to fold the edges, of course. I just want this part to be flat enough for me to dribble the wax onto. Now I've got a couple of flaps here because I have 2 layers. So you want to make sure the wax covers both flaps and this side. And this is why we have that second layer of paper, because otherwise the wax would just be getting right onto the page of your letter. And once you ever decide to open that wax, it could tear your letter up. So you want to have that one extra page to kind of serve as a cover for the wax. I'm going to try to roll this again because I don't really like the fact that I had these 2 flaps that were so far apart. So I'm going to try to make sure those flaps are closer together. All right, this is much better. So I'm going to try to get my wax to be right around here, and that's just going to seal up the letter. And of course we've got our stamp, which is the 2 hearts. I'm going to prepare my stamp, so I'm going to make sure I know that the bottom of those hearts is like that. I'm going to set it down like this so that when I'm ready to use it, it's already in alignment and I can just pick it up and stamp it down so that I'm not stamping it upside down or anything like that. It's really up to you. If you don't mind how the stamp looks, and that's fine. But I'm gonna make sure that it is like that. So we're going to take our sealing wax and we're just gonna hold it over the flame. You wanna hold it over the flame because the heat is going to soften the wax, and as it's doing that, you wanna turn the wax stick around, because as it heats up, it's gonna begin to drip, and you don't want it to just drip into the fire. You want it to gather so that you can drip it onto your letter. Now, you can hold it above the flame, which is perfectly fine. If you want to, you can actually hold it into the flame itself, which will then give the wax a little bit of this black swirly kind of effect, which I actually really enjoy sometimes. So it's up to you whether or not you want just the pure color of the wax, or if you want to have like a nice black swirl effect. And you're just gonna leave it in there until you've got about like a nice bulb of wax kind of ready to be, it's already dripping down. So you want a nice bulb of wax at the tip so that then you can quickly pull it over onto your letter, just like this. We've got that nice flat surface area, and we're gonna cover both flaps, make sure that wax gets wide in there. Now, for this part, don't worry if it gets messy. It actually looks so much cooler if the wax gets messy. So you're gonna press that down pretty gently. You don't have to press it very hard. And then I just start blowing so that the wax can start hardening. And you can see it's already trying to drip down the sides. I'm okay with that. It's up to you if you want your wax to drip down the sides or not. I like that kind of like uneven look. Yep, you don't want to press it down too hard on the wax because you want that wax to have a good thickness. You don't want it to be too thin as it is on your page, because it can just tear apart if it's too thin. So yeah, you just let that dry, and there you go. This is your very own self-love letter in a beautiful stained, burned scroll. And this is a reminder to you of whenever you're having a bad day or something like that, look at this, remind yourself of all the positive things in your life, maybe open it up. You know, I mean, once you break the seal, you can't really put it back together again, so you're gonna have to seal it up with more wax if you wanna do that. It's totally up to you. But yeah, there it is. This is one of my favorite ways to send letters to people too. So you don't have to do it just for you. You can do it for other people as well. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me in this video, making our own little self-love letters. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked the finished product. I really like the finished product. And guys, just remember to be kind to yourself. Treat yourself the way you would treat a good friend, okay? Because you deserve just as much respect and love from yourself as you give other people. All right, guys? So I hope you have a lovely week, and we'll see you in the next video.